Hey everyone, so my birthday is this week, and because of that, I just really want to talk about some of my favorite things. And so I decided it was finally time for me to rank all of Day6's title tracks because my previous ranking was right after the Every Day6 era, and it has since been blocked due to copyright claims. Because of that, I'm not going to be including any clips of the songs in this video because Day6 songs especially tend to get claimed and blocked even when used sparingly, so I'm just not going to be taking that risk. A couple reminders before I jump into the list. Day6 has my favorite discography in K-pop, and they're one of my ultimate groups for a reason. All of the songs on this list are amazing, including the one in last place. This isn't a quality judgment, it's purely just my personal preference. All of these songs are amazing. You should listen to all of them if you haven't already, and I will leave a playlist down in the description of the entire list if you want to listen to them. Second and final note before I jump into the list, I'm someone who's been a pop, punk, and alternative fan since I was 13, which as of this week is officially half of my life ago, and my favorite Day6 songs are their more intense rock-heavy tracks, so therefore those tend to be pretty high on my rankings. I know some fandom favorites are going to be lower on my list than they are for most people, but again, I still really love those songs. I can't emphasize this enough. Alright, enough rambling, onto the list. Like I already said, I still quite like I Smile, but it doesn't rank very high for me even among their album tracks as well. It's one of the very rare Day6 songs that I don't listen to very frequently and I tend to kind of forget about. The lyrics are meaningful, but that's true with most Day6 songs, so it's hard to boost it up on that factor alone. I like the song, but it's just up against 23 songs that I like even more. Letting Go is that song that I kind of convinced myself I liked more than I actually did. I have a really great appreciation for it because of how interesting its structure is. Much like GOT7's You Calling My Name, the first chorus doesn't feel like a real chorus the first time, which is a really cool choice. That's also why I vastly prefer the original version to the reboot version because it loses that interesting structure and it cuts Young K's rap bridge, which are my two favorite things about the song. Once again, it's really great. There are just others that I like even more. I tend to need a little bit of time for a new song to climb the ranking, and that's the main reason Zombie is so low on this list. Even songs released last year have some level of nostalgia for me. Plus, as I mentioned, I do generally prefer their more musically intense songs. But I do think that this one will eventually move up the list because the lyrics really resonate with me, and that's when I really fall in love with Day6's slower songs. Being totally honest, I nearly forgot that this was released last year. It only got a partial music video, and that was like 2 months before the actual album was released. It's just hard to follow Japanese releases sometimes. For some reason, this one is still kind of like Zombie for me in the fact that it still feels very new. I think this one will probably have a pretty big jump in ranking as time goes on, but this is just where it's at right now. That said, we love a Doan Bridge. This is where I'm gonna lose people. This is one of the fandom's favorite Day6 songs, but as much as I love it, it's never been quite as high for me personally. I feel like a broken record here. I love this song, but I just love other Day6 songs more. The lyrics are beautiful, and Wonpil's voice on the chorus is always really striking for me. This is one of many beautiful Day6 ballads, but not quite as much of a favorite for me personally as it is for a lot of the fandom. This actually used to be rather high on my list of favorites. I love how dreamy and hazy the chorus feels. It's very reminiscent of the Beatles. The high hello on the chorus is so dreamy and chill-inducing, especially on the final one when they layer several harmonies on top of each other. The only reason it's near the bottom of this ranking is that it's kind of fallen out of rotation for me over the past couple of years. I just don't listen to it as much as I listen to the songs that I put higher on the list. When I do rankings like this, I often praise the way a chorus feels like it's soaring, and that's how this chorus feels to me. That first "I like you" in the chorus really conveys the emotions of confessing to someone really beautifully. The final chorus is especially beautiful, the way the strings build up as they sing "I like you." This song is just really pretty, and it felt like a very celebratory way to close out the Everyday 6 era. This is another that's not only a favorite among fans, but also Day6 constantly mentions this as one of their favorite songs they've ever written. This is an absolutely beautiful song. The way the instrumentation mimics the vocal line in the verse is really pretty, and it makes it a very soft, easy song to listen to. Every time I listen to it, it just feels very comfortable and comforting. Basically, it just feels like a healing song. I feel like a broken record because I have nothing bad to say about any of these songs. I just prefer the ones that I placed higher. This is a song that has steadily climbed my list over the past few years since its release. It has a unique, stripped-back instrumentation, and the vocals are so soft and raw. It really resonates with me personally because the music really forces me to feel the meaning of the song. The two biggest standouts to me are the lyrics and the harmonies. Like I mentioned, the lyrics really resonate with me, and the way they layer harmonies is brilliant. And that final chorus that Young K and Sungjin belt is especially beautiful. This is the first of Day6's more intense rock songs on this list. This actually used to be a top 5 Day6 song for me, but it's fallen out of rotation as ones I've loved even more have been released. I really like the back and forth between the verses and the chorus. The synth in the verses feels very reminiscent of their first mini album, and the chorus goes really hard, which of course I love. The bridge is by far my favorite part of the song, but overall it's just really fun. I think most people would have this much lower on their list, but this was their most recent title track when I became a My Day, so both the song and the School trilogy in general were kind of my introduction into the fandom. I think some of the songs I've already discussed on this list are technically better written or more musically interesting, but I just really love this one, and I have a lot of nostalgia for it. I always love retro concepts in K-pop, especially the 80s, so I was already set up to really love this early 80s new wave inspired synthy rock song, even if it weren't by Day6. The synths especially feel like they were really ripped right from the MTV era, and I love it. Days Gone By is just one that always feels very lighthearted and is always fun to listen to. It's really easy for a song like this to feel trite or to be forgettable, and even if it's not either of those things, it's usually not a song I'd place very high on my favorites. But instead, Beautiful Feeling is a really stunning song that I love. Young K's voice on the chorus really soars and is always really striking to me. I know that I described When You Love Someone as a healing song, but for me personally, Beautiful Feeling fits that even more because it just feels so light and uplifting. When this was first released, I was especially excited because it was their first Japanese title track, and I wanted to see what direction they were going to take their sound for their Japanese debut, and I was not disappointed. The chorus of this one just absolutely explodes. There's so much energy and power. It's just fantastic all the way around. We also got the return of Rapper K, which I loved. This was just a really, really strong Japanese debut. Time of Our Life got them their first win, and for that it will always be really special. This was the perfect song to release in the summer. It's so lighthearted and fun, especially with the group chant at the end of the chorus. I also really love the way the keyboard and synths are included here. From the beginning of the song to the build up to the chorus, they're just really great. Overall, it's just by far one of their most fun songs. The first time I heard Sweet Chaos, I loved it because it felt like such a nod to both My Chemical Romance and Panic at the Disco, who have been two of my favorite bands since junior high. Once again, the synths and keyboard are two of the elements that really stand out to me in this one. That subtle piano tinkle in the background of the chorus is one of my favorite elements of the song. It's really high energy while still having this almost spooky vibe, and that compared with the musical influences just shot it way up on my list very quickly. When I made this ranking, I Wait is the one that really surprised me the most because it used to be all the way in my top 3 Day6 songs. Regardless, it's still a song I absolutely love. Every section of it is so well done. The ah way in the verse is always really cool, especially the very beginning of the song. The repetition of the what you doin' in the pre-chorus is really awesome. The chorus is just so high energy, and that bridge is just this fantastic shift in sound. Not only is it one of my favorite Day6 songs, but I think it's also one of their best written songs musically. It's so good. What Can I Do just keeps inching closer and closer to the top of my list every time I rank these, and I even surprised myself with how high it got this time. I think the thing I love most about the song is the difference between the verses and the chorus and the way they still make the song work even with that difference. It starts out with this gritty bass and vocals, and then the chorus is really bright and brassy. I love that difference, on top of the fact that I love both of those sections individually as well. I'm Serious is one of those songs that just always makes me smile from the second it starts. This is one that I always put on summer playlists because it's the type of song that's just so lighthearted, and much like the music video, you want to listen to it while driving with the windows down. The a cappella chorus near the end is fantastic and definitely one of my favorite parts of the song. This is just a song that always puts me in a good mood and makes me happy. This is another song where every single section is so interesting. Those repeated descending melodies in the verses are so fantastic. The synth after the chorus is this really cool shift in sound, and then of course the chorus itself is so big and bold and in your face. The way the instrumentation gets stripped back in the verses and then explodes in the chorus is so awesome. Shoot Me especially does a really great job of blending together several of Day6's various sounds into one extremely successful song. For a long time, Congratulations was my favorite Day6 title track, but as you can see, it's now been beaten out by a few others. I don't even know what to say about it. It's just iconic. It's iconic. Young K's rap has always been my favorite part of the song, but every single section of this song is flawless. It's another of those songs where I hear the first drum hit and I'm instantly happy because I love it that much. In my humble opinion, this is the best K-pop debut of all time. Period. My placement of Stop the Rain has fluctuated a lot over the past couple of years, but it's always been up here near the top. I really love the sound that they have gone for in their Japanese title tracks. They lean most heavily into their intense rock sound in them, so of course I tend to prefer them. I mean, we get a whole huge amazing guitar solo in this one, and I love it so much. When I first started listening to Day6, the first 2 songs I downloaded were Congratulations and Dance Dance, so it makes sense that they both rank this high because they're the songs that made me really fall in love with the band. Very few songs can make me as genuinely happy as Dance Dance does. I can be in a bad mood and Dance Dance will turn that around. I can turn Dance Dance on and listen to it over and over and over, back to back, and never get sick of it. It's just that song that can make me happy and hype me up every single time I listen to it. This is not only one of my favorite Day6 songs, but just one of my favorite songs of all time. The first time I listened to Breaking Down, I literally just sat watching the music video in this speechless, stunned silence. Listening to Breaking Down for the first time felt oddly extremely nostalgic. It really felt like I'd gone back in time to high school listening to All Time Low, who's still one of my favorite bands. I'm not sure if it was even a specific element of the song, but rather just the song as a whole. I don't think I've ever listened to a song that felt nostalgic on first listen, but from there it just shot straight up this list, and it's been my favorite Day6 title track ever since. Alright, so that is my ranking of Day6's title tracks. Like I said at the beginning, I love all of these songs regardless of where they placed because they have literally my favorite discography in K-pop. Let me know down in the comments what some of your favorite Day6 title tracks are because there are so many great ones to choose from, literally this entire list. Before anyone asks, yes, I do plan on doing an updated ranking like this for GOT7 in the near future, as well as a Day6 album track ranking eventually. So keep your eyes peeled for both of those. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, turn on notifications, all that good stuff, and of course, thanks for watching.